classmates! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Ngayon, i-discuss ko ay tungkol sa adjusting entries, okay? Classmates, bakit tayo gumagawa ng adjusting entries? Ang transactions kasi, ang business transaction or accounting transactions, pinapasok yan lahat sa ating journal entries, no? So, lahat ng mga transactions, naka-record yan sa ating journal entries, pumapasok sa posting and pumapasok din sa trial balance. And lahat ng mga effect ng transactions na to ay patungkol lang sa isang period, okay? So, hindi naman lahat ng na-record natin ay tama, no? May kailangan tayong i-adjust, classmates. So, ano yung mga kailangan nating i-adjust? Kung ano lang yung para sa 2020, yun lang yung i-record natin, okay? Kasi may mga times or may mga transactions na patungkol sa mga next year na or hindi naman patungkol sa 2020 or this year or current year na gusto nating ipakita. Okay? Balik tanaw lang muna tayo, classmates. I-discuss ko ulit yung accrual basis versus the cash basis of accounting. Accrual basis recognizes the impact of transactions as it occurs. So, when accountant recognizes an impact, yung basis niya is the occurrence of an item. Okay? Kung may business transaction na occurs such as performing the service or nagkaroon tayo ng service revenue, titignan natin kung ano yung occurrence rather than the cash inflow or cash outflow. Okay? Wala tayong pakialam kung na-receive na yung pera or hindi pa. As long as nag-happen na yung transaction, binding na with both parties, okay na yan. Pwede na nating i-record yan sa ating libro. However, sa cash basis of accounting, hindi natin nare-record yung transaction until cash is received or paid. Okay? Basis natin dito pera. Kung makareceive na tayo ng pera or nagbayad na tayo ng pera, dun lang tayo magre-record ng ating journal entries. So, what method will be used as prescribed with the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards or PFRS in recording financial transactions? Ang sagot dito ay ang accrual basis of accounting. Kasi sa accrual basis of accounting, more precise siya and more timely sa ating time period concept. If naalala pa natin, dapat yung transaction i-record natin as it occurs or pertaining to a particular period. So, yung answer natin, we must use accrual method of accounting in recording financial transactions. Galing yan sa PFRS or Philippine Financial Reporting Standards natin. Okay? Ano naman yung accounting period? Balik tanong pa din. Ang accounting period refers to the normal operating cycle of a company which usually 1 year or 12 months. It is consistent to the BAR and SEC and other government agencies requirements. Okay? Pag sinabi nating accounting period sa isang buong cycle na nagpre-prepare tayo ng financial statements or nagkakaroon tayo ng business operations, ito na yung sinasabi nating accounting period. 1 year is the most basic accounting period kasi ito naman talaga yung mga requirement ni BAR and then the Securities and Exchange Commissions. Si managers and investors then kailangan niya yung 1 year na sinasabi natin kasi kung isang araw lang yung ibibigay mo sa ating investors, hindi niyo ma-predict masyado kung ano na yung financial position and financial performance ng entity. Kaya para masaya lahat, ginawa nating 1 year or yung accounting standards natin, ni-refer na ang accounting period will be 1 year na. Okay? Next naman tayo, balik tanaw or quick review lang natin, revenue and matching principle. Ano naman yung revenue and matching principle? Sinasabi dito na ang revenue ay dapat ma-record once it has been earned and the amount of revenue should be equal to the cash value of goods transferred or services rendered to the customer. Meaning, yung revenue, i-record mo na siya once it has been earned. Wala tayong pakialam kung meron nang na-receive na cash or wala pa. As long as it has been earned, okay na yan. I-record mo na yan as revenue. Okay? Ano yung meaning ng earned? Okay? Meaning, na-render mo na yung services or na-deliver mo na yung goods sa ating dearest customer or clients. Okay? Habang yung expenses naman, it is incurred during the period and it should be measured and recorded together with the revenues during the same span of time. Kaya nga sila tinawag na matching principle kasi minamatch mo yung expenses, kung ano yung expenses, imamatch mo sa particular na revenue natin. Okay? And then, ano pa yung kailangan nating ibalik tanaw or quick review lang natin is the time period concept. Ano naman yung time period concept? Balik tanaw lang to ha. Ang time period concept ensures that all accounting information are reported at regular intervals or accounting period na sinasabi natin. Sinasabi lang natin dito na dapat yung revenue tsaka expenses dapat naka-measure siya in a particular span of time or at a regular interval. Yun na yung sinasabi nating 1 year. Okay? Tapos na tayo sa balik tanaw or quick review ng ating mga kailangang concepts. Ngayon is i-apply na natin and i-discuss na natin little by little yung adjusting process or adjusting entries. So, accrual basis, revenue and matching principle, and time period concept. Silang tatlo ang bumubuo ng adjusting entries natin. Okay? Why do we need adjusting entries? Bakit tayo nagagawa ng adjusting entries? This is to report all revenues earned during the accounting period. To report then all expenses incurred during the period. Pansinin nyo may mga period kasi part yan ng time period concept natin, okay? So, to report accurately the assets on the balance sheet, to report accurately the liabilities on the balance sheet. So, it is more on the elements of ating financial statements. So, dinidiscuss nila dito or dinidiscuss natin dito yung elements ng financial statements. Kaya merong adjusting entries kasi ina-adjust natin yung mga measurement ng ating elements of financial statement. Okay? Yung guide natin sa adjusting entries, simple lang. Just remember DTA. Ito yung magiging guide natin sa pag-prepare ng adjusting entries. Una, yung D is the date. We must determine the year end or the calendar or fiscal year natin. Titignan natin, calendar ba yung sinosolve natin? Or yung problem, titignan natin, calendar ba yan or fiscal year yan? Kasi calendar, iba yung approach natin. Pag fiscal, iba yung approach natin kasi yung measurement nila magkakaiba depending on the date of transaction and ating adjusting entries, okay? The T naman represents the type of adjustments. So dito, didetermine natin yung type of adjustments. Ano yung nire-refer na adjusting entries or types of adjustment dito? So, i-discuss naman natin ano yung mga type of adjustments and yung last na process or steps natin or guide natin sa pag-perform ng adjusting entries is the A or adjust. Banatan mo na, Beshi. Start ka na and sabay-sabay na nating matutunan yung adjusting entries or adjusting process. So, ang date, titignan natin yung date sa part ng DTA. So, D is for date. Calendar ba yan or fiscal year? Or fiscal yan. Ano yung sinasabing calendar year? Ang calendar year is a 1-year period that begins on January 1 and ends on December 31. Habang ang fiscal year naman is 1-year period that begins on any date other than January 1 and ends on the 12-month period thereafter. Pag calendar year, sundin mo lang kung ano yung nasa calendar. Diba pag yung calendar natin nagsisimula sa January 1 and nagtatapos yan in December 31. Kasi pag next year, January 1, New Year na yan. Hindi na yan kasama sa ating calendar year. So next calendar na naman tayo. Habang yung fiscal year naman, hindi sumusunod sa calendar. Yung ginagawa niya is gumagamit siya ng ibang year as their starting point. Tapos, yung magtatapos siya after the 12 months na. So, yung pinaka-common na fiscal year is March 31. So, at the end of, sabihin natin from April 1 to March 31, yun yung kanilang 12-month period. Okay? Now, i-discuss na natin yung types of adjusting entries. Ito na yung diagram natin kanina. I-apply na natin yung accrual basis sa adjusting entries, yung revenue recognition and matching principle. I-conceptualize na natin and yung time period concept i-apply natin sa pag-prepare ng adjusting entries. So sa accrual basis, yung mga nangyayari na adjusting events ay ang unrecorded revenues and expenses. Yun yung mga nangyayari usually sa ating accrual basis concept. Kasi sa accrual, minsan nakakaligtaan nating i-record yung mga transaction, especially if wala silang source documents. Okay? Sa revenue recognition and matching principles naman, na-apply dito or na-apply na adjusting event dito is the allocation of revenues and expenses. Okay? Like, yung mga depreciation natin and all, dun na papasok sa revenue recognition and matching principles. Yung time period concept naman, ano yung ma-apply na adjusting events sa ating time period concept? Ito yung mga valuation adjustments natin. Overview ko lang, ito yung mga accounts receivable, yung mga related doubtful accounts nila, or yung mas kilala bilang allowance for doubtful accounts. So, punta na tayo sa unrecorded revenues and expenses. Okay? So, sa unrecorded expenses, yung term na ginagamit dyan is accrued expenses. Kaya nga siya tinawag na sa concept na accrual siya galing kasi yung word is accrued expenses. Pag sinabi mong accrued expenses, ito yung mga expenses that will be paid in the future transaction. Example nito is wages, interest, and others. No? Itong mga expenses na to, usually, wala silang source documents kaya most of the time nakakaligtaan siyang i-record kaya sa adjusting entry natin siya i-record. Okay? So let's go to an example. Situation 1. Dudut recognizes 50,000 salary to a new employee to be paid next year. Okay? So si Dudut daw ay nag-hire ng employee at December siguro and then sa January pa siya masasahuran or mababayaran ng kanyang sahod. So, i-record na ba natin tong 50,000 at the end of the month or the end of December 31? Ang sagot ay oo. I-record na natin yung 50,000 as salaries expense. So, yung entry natin dito is debit of salaries expenses and then credit tayo ng accrued salaries. Debit salaries expense and then credit accrued salaries to record na yung salary na 50,000. So, dito 50k na yan. Tapos, dito din 50k. Okay? Situation 2 tayo. Dudut draw 1 year 10% notes payable to Kong on October 1 worth 1,200,000. Okay? So, naggawa daw si Dudut ng notes payable kay Kong on October 1 worth 1.2 million. Okay? Liability yan ni Dudut. Pero, most likely, on October 1, na-record na yung notes payable. Ang hindi na lang nare-record at the end of December 31 is yung interest. So, magre-record tayo ng interest dito. So, yung entry natin is interest expense. And then, we credit accrued interest. Pwede ring accrued interest payable. Magkano yung amount? 1.2 million times 10% is equal to 120,000 times 3/12 magiging 30k yung i-record natin kasi from October to December 31. So, 30k siya dito. Okay? Punta naman tayo sa unrecorded revenue. Pag sinabi natin ang unrecorded revenue, it pertains to the accrued income natin. Okay? So, accrued income, goods that have been delivered na or services have been rendered but no collection or payment was made by the customer. Okay? Example dito, rent, interest, dividend, declared by the investee, etc. Pag sinabi nating interest revenue yan, it refers to the receivable natin or notes receivable. So, situation 1, Chakno Company sublets a portion of premises to the chicken wing store at 5,000 a month. So, most likely, hindi ito mare-record pag hindi pa nababayaran kasi wala namang source documents, wala namang official receipt, and wala siyang evidence na i-record siya. Pero, at the end of December 31 or at December 31, yung 5,000 is i-record na natin kahit hindi pa nabayaran kasi income na natin yon. Pumapatak na yung renta ni Chicken Wings Store at i-record na yun dapat ni Chakno Company. So, ang entry natin dito is magre-record tayo ng receivable which will be termed accrued rent income. Okay? Tapos, credit tayo ng rent income. Okay? Magkano yung amount? 5,000. So, i-record na natin dito, rent income worth 5,000. Tapos, accrued rent income which is a receivable, 5,000 pesos. Let's go na to allocation of recorded revenues or expenses. Tinatawag din na deferrals, okay? Yung term niya is deferrals. So, it is mainly allocation of revenues and expenses. Ano yung mga ina-allocate na revenues and expenses? Una is prepaid expenses. Huwag kang malilito dito kasi ang prepaid expenses is an expenditure that is paid for in one accounting period, but for which the underlying assets will not be entirely consumed until a future date. So, meron paunang bayad dito. Okay? Example dito is rent, paunang bayad, which is prepaid rent, insurance, office supplies, etc. Okay? I-illustrate natin through a situation para mas ma-analyze at ma-internalize natin. So, number 1, Dudut Company pays 3-month rent totaling 30,000 on November 1. Okay? So, most likely, i-record niya yung item at November 1 totaling 30,000. So, magre-record siya ng rent expense tapos cash. Okay? Pero hindi naman lahat ng 30,000 is mapupunta na kay customer or sa client natin. Kasi yung rent up, good for 2 months lang. Tapos yung binayaran natin is good for 3 months. Okay? So, if mag-record sila ng adjusting entries, i-adjust lang natin kung ano yung na-record niya. Okay? So, unang na-record, ano yun? Yung unang na-record, rent expense. Yung na-record niya. And then, nag-credit siya ng cash. Ganon yung entry niya. Pagkatapos, at December 31, yung rent na 30,000, hindi pa fully consumed. Okay? So, itong 30,000 dito, 30K, is hindi pa siya fully consumed, diba? Kasi November 1 to December 31 is good for 2 months lang. Tapos, yung binayad natin is for the 3-month period. So, meron pa tayong 10,000 na natitira. So, i-credit lang natin yung rent expense and then record tayo ng prepaid rent. Pag sinabi mong prepaid rent, it is an asset. Kasi asset pa natin yan, hindi pa natin na kukonsume. So, i-record mo, i-credit mo yung rent expense worth 10,000 kasi yun na lang yung hindi pa nakukonsume fully. Okay? Punta naman tayo sa situation 2. Sa situation 2, Dudut Company purchased office supplies worth 1,500. At the end of the accounting period, the accountant noted that the unused supplies was 500. Okay? So, yung nirecord daw niya na office supplies is good for 1,500. So, yung entry probably is supplies worth 1,500 tapos credit siya ng cash. Ito yung entry at the date of transaction. Okay? Pero, i-adjust natin kasi sabi ni accountant, 500 na lang yung natitirang supplies. So, magre-credit tayo ng supplies na 1,000. Ano yung debit natin? Magde-debit na tayo ng supplies expense. Kasi itong 1,000, ito na yung nagasto ni company. Yung natira na lang kasi is 500. So, credit tayo ng supplies, bawasan natin yung supplies worth 1,000 din. So, makikita natin yung supplies is equal na lang to 500. So, tama na tayo doon. Yun lang yung adjusting entries. Ito yung magiging adjusting entries natin.